Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's July 27, 2021. It's 9:44 at night. So I apologize if I look tired. I'm here at my office, as you can see, at my convenience store. We've been here almost all day. We've been yesterday we went to San Antonio and we bought some we brought some inventory, so we decided to spend the day here at the store and check things out, check how everything's going, and so we can price the new inventory that we bought. So I thought I would just update you guys on what I've been doing lately. I don't know if I have mentioned it in another video, but I bought another property. I bought a small house on a half lot. So I saw this property about 2 months ago on Craigslist. They were asking $40,000. I think it was $40,000 for it. It's a half a lot, but it's a good size. I think it's about 4,300 square feet and a small 400 square foot house, a 1-bedroom old house. So I saw the post on Craigslist, and like I mentioned, I've gotten a lot of deals on Craigslist. So if you don't use Craigslist, check it out. What caught my attention was, one, the price, and another thing was the zoning. Since the property is real close to a railroad track, the property is considered an M1 zone. So here locally, M1 zones means that you can do several businesses, from body shops, convenience stores, mechanic shops, basically any shop. It's like a high rank zone for business. Basically, you can put businesses that will maybe pollute the air, like a body shop, because in other areas, like in the B1 zones, you can put convenience stores or restaurants, but you cannot put body shops or mechanic shops. In this M zones, you can put more industrial type of businesses. So I know it had value because of the type of zone. So I went to go see it and I liked it, and of course I didn't have the money to buy it, like always. I told the lady, first of all, I asked her why she was selling it, and she told me that she was from San Antonio, and that it belonged to her aunt, and that she had passed away. So she had basically gifted it to her. She had willed it to her. I don't know if that's the correct term. But she was the heir of the property, and she just wanted to get rid of it. So the house has been vacant for the past about 10 years. I'll try to post some pictures here so you guys can see it. The house had been vacant for 10 years. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath with a small kitchen and a small living room. It's like a small little apartment. So I thought that the bones were good. And it had a lot of potential to fix it. So since I didn't have any money, I asked her if she had any other offers. I saw the posting she said she didn't have any other offers, but I saw the posting at 1 in the morning, and I noticed that she had listed the ad an hour before. So I knew it was very late at 1 in the morning, but I still decided to text her, and I said, I apologize if it's already late, but I saw that you just posted it an hour ago. And she was like, yeah, I just posted it. I'm still awake. It's okay. So she gave me the details. She told me about the size, the property, the zoning, and I told her if I could go see it first thing in the morning. So next day in the morning, at I think it was 9 or 10 in the morning, I went to see it. I saw it. I spoke to her, and that's where I made her the offer. I told her, you know what? I think this property is already a good price, but I'm a flipper. I flip properties, and I always, to feel good, I always try to negotiate. I never buy something at an asking price. So are you open to negotiating? She was like, yeah, okay. And so I offered her 35,000, but I didn't have the $35,000, of course, because I'm always broke. If you haven't seen my other video, check it out. Why I'm a broke millionaire. So I told her I can give you $5,000 down, and I can I can pay it off in a year. So I quickly did the math in my head, and I thought if I give her $5,000 down, that would leave me a $30,000 note, and if I can give her $2,500 a month, I can pay it off in a year. So I made her that offer. She said she was gonna think about it, talk to her husband, and she was gonna let me know. So, like 2 hours passed, and I texted her and I told her, "Hey, what did you think about the offer?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm good with it, but why don't you wrap up the paperwork?" Because I told her that I could do the paperwork. I could do the vendor's lien, the warranty deal with vendor's lien, and I could do all the paperwork for her. So she was like, "Why don't you do the paperwork and show it to me, and so I can read it first before accepting your offer?" So I went to the office. I started working on the offer, on the not on the offer, on the actual paperwork. I started working on the actual paperwork, and then when I called her back and I told her, "Hey, I have the paperwork ready," she told me, "No, you know what? I'm already on my way to San Antonio. I had to go back. I'm sorry, but I'll be back in 2 weeks, and we can go forward with the deal." And I was like, "Okay, fine." I told her, "Is there any way that you can come back and so we can close it up? I have the money in hand, and I want to make the deal. I don't want you to sell it." And she was like, "No, I won't sell it. I'll hold it for you, but I'll be back in 2 weeks." I was like, "Okay." So I hanged up, and all day long, I was thinking about the deal. I was thinking, if I don't do anything, somebody else is gonna buy it, or maybe somebody's gonna offer maybe $25,000, but cash, and she's gonna take that deal instead of my payment plan. So I was thinking, and my wife told me, "Hey, you know what? We need inventory for the store. Why don't we go to San Antonio?" And it it came to me, the idea. Why don't I take her the paperwork to San Antonio, and we close the deal in San Antonio. We can find an order in San Antonio and do everything in San Antonio. So if you're asking how I had the $5,000, I think I just got it from my real estate checking account. I usually have a little bit of money when I'm working on projects to pay Home Depot, to pay the contractor. So I just got the $5,000 from there, and I said I'll worry if something's pending or to pay. I'll worry about it later on. So I called her and told her, "Hey, you know what? If you already checked the paperwork and if it's fine, I can go to San Antonio tomorrow, and we can do everything over there in San Antonio. Just look for a notary so we can get everything notarized, and I'll come back with the paperwork. I'll leave you the cashier's check, and we'll call it a deal." And she was like, "Okay, that's fine." So we went, to cut the story short. We went to San Antonio the next day. We were able to find a notary at her place where she worked. Because I was calling a lot of notaries in San Antonio, and they were questioning me what type of document it was, and if I was a title company to be making those documents, and nobody wanted to notarize it. In other words, but from what I understand, the notary is only supposed to check your ID, and that's it. But a lot of these notaries were trying to act as attorneys and checking the paperwork, and I may be wrong, but to what I understand, the notary is only supposed to verify your ID and check that it's you, and check that it matches your signature, and that's it. But we were able to find at last a notary at her job, and we got everything notarized, and me and my wife, we went to eat, and we had dinner, and we celebrated that we bought the property. So originally the plan for the property was I was gonna flip it. I basically didn't have any real concrete plan what I was gonna do with it. I just knew that it was very cheap, and that I needed to buy it. So I posted it online to try to resell it for a few weeks, and I was getting some interest, but most people wanted 2 or 3 bedrooms. They said that the house was too small, and that it was too old, and that basically I was only selling the lot because the house needed to be demolished. So I heard a lot of negative stuff from the property. So I was like, I would tell my wife, you know what? Well, she was actually the one that told me. She was like, you have fixed bigger properties. Why don't you just fix it and stay, and we keep it? And I was like, I told my wife, you know what? Amor, you're right. So I told my contractor, let's go fix it. So I spent about $10,000, a little bit more, between $10,000 and $11,000. But that's labor and materials. So we changed the floors. We put those tiles that you glue on with some kind of paste. We painted the interior. We drywalled one room that had like some like wood looking panels. We drywalled that room. We painted the whole interior. We added the base trims. We added the base trims throughout the house. We put new doors on the inside, on the exterior. We put a new toilet. We put a new kitchen, the counters, the formica, the sink. We painted the exterior. Well, first of all, we changed the siding from the exterior because it had all different kinds of material on the outside. We changed all the sidings on the exterior, which were expensive. Right now, I remember back then, well, not back then, but like 2 years ago, the siding was around $20-some, and I think we paid close to $50. So the price of wood has gone up, but that's a different video. So we changed the exterior, the sidings. We painted the roof. We inspected it. We saw that it was good. It had no leaks, so we just painted it so it could look a little bit better. And the house right now looks brand new. Like I said, I'm gonna post some pictures. The house looks brand new. It looks like a tiny home. And today I went to show it in the morning. We just finished it this weekend, and today I showed it to a potential tenant, and he agreed. So in all, I invested $45,000. 35 I invested in the property, which I haven't paid. I've only paid $5,000, and I've only given one payment. So I've paid $7,500, but counting everything that I'm gonna pay, because she didn't charge me any interest. So I'm only gonna pay the $35,000 plus the $10,000 to rehab it. So I've spent $45,000 on this property. and I rented it today in the morning for $700. So I rented it for $700, but I'm gonna pay the water. So let's say I'm thinking about $50 for water. So it's gonna be $650. Let me run the numbers. Let me get my calculator. It's gonna be $650 per month times 12. So that's $7,800 that I'm gonna get a year. $7,800 a year minus, and the maintenance is gonna be very little because we put new ceiling fans and new outlets, new hoses for the kitchen, for the restroom. It's basically brand new. So the maintenance is gonna be very little. I believe that taxes are about $1,000. So let's say I'm gonna be making about $6,800 a year divided by the $45,000 that I spent. So I'm gonna get about a 15% return on my $45,000. A 15% return. So I'm gonna be getting about $7,000 after I pay the water and the taxes every year. So it's a very good deal. It's a very good deal. I'm gonna get a 15% return. Plus, here's the plus side of the story. The property next door belongs to her brothers. So I believe a relative passed away and gave this property to her and this property to her brothers and sisters. So her brothers and sisters are selling me the other half of the lot with a bigger house, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. They wanted $70,000. I brought them down to, I think, $54,000. But I'm still negotiating on that house. One, because I don't have the money to buy it, and I wanted to finish the other property first before I jumped into the other property. But my overall plan for these two properties is to make a swimming pool on the back, to make another palapa or porch. I don't know what you want to call it. Another shade, a shaded area in the back. Make a swimming pool. And since I could make an official business there, make everything official, because at the house, I just want to do things right. So I'm seeing that there's money to be made. We have a relative that has a swimming pool, and they've been getting about $8,000 to $9,000 a month of renting the swimming pool. But they have an actual business. It's on the outskirts of Laredo, but it still gets rented, and they're making money, $300 $400 a day, and almost every day it's rented. So I'm doing the math, and I think if I buy the other half, the lot is gonna be about 10,000 square feet. So let's say if I invest $100,000 for the property and maybe another $50,000 or $60,000 for the swimming pool and the parking lot and the shaded area, and maybe I can put some swings or a basketball court. So maybe I'm gonna invest $160,000, but if I can get, let's say, $8,000 a month for 7 good months out of the year, $56,000. And I know I still have to subtract some expenses, but let's say I make $50,000 a year, and I'm gonna invest $160,000. So I'm gonna get a 31% return on my money. Now, that percent, I know renting a pool is gonna be a job because you have to go show it. But I don't care if I have to cut that $50,000. If I only get $40 or $35,000 and I have to hire somebody to run it, I'll do it. So I can have my hands free. But it's still a pretty good return, and there's a very high demand because we get triple digits here in Laredo. We see 110, 115 during the summer around this time. So, and it's usually, I'm thinking that I can get at least 7 good months, out of the year. So that's one of my plans. And another plan would be to make another convenience store there, because there's a park, there's a big recreation park 2 blocks away. So if I can remove the 2 houses in the future, I'm talking about the future, remove the 2 houses and make a 3,000 square foot convenience store, and make it the foundation so I can do a second story, and maybe on the upper floor I can make maybe 4 suites of 800 square foot, so that I can rent out for small businesses like a barber shop or tattoo shop or little cafe shop or something. So I know I'm gonna have to invest a lot more than the $50,000 of the pool, but that will be a much bigger investment, and the appreciation in the future years will be much greater. Because if I invest, let's say $200,000 in the building, I know it's gonna be worth a lot more, and in 10 years it's probably gonna double, because it's gonna be an actual business. So those are the plans. But my first move right now was to buy one of the properties, fix it, and rent it out. So basically I'm done with half of it. The next move will be right now to secure the other property on the side. I don't want them before they sell it, so I want to secure the other half so I can have a complete lot, and then from there I can start saving money, so I can start building whatever I'm gonna build in the back. If I'm gonna build a pool or the convenience store, or even an apartment complex. I'm sorry. Another good thing would be to build a sixplex like the one I have in Rio Bravo. It would be another good idea. So the possibilities are endless to make money out of this property. So I'm very happy that I acquired it. I know that I said before that I wasn't gonna buy any more properties. One of my friends called me out and said, "Hey, you, what happened? I'm not gonna watch your videos because you said that you weren't gonna buy any more properties." But I'm always open to changing directions wherever God takes me. If sometimes I go against my own will, and sometimes I say things that I don't even respect. And my wife is always getting mad at me because she's always says, "Hey, wasn't the plan this or wasn't the plan that?" But overall, the plan is to succeed one way or another. And if I see an opportunity, I'm always gonna jump on it. So I hope you guys like the video. I know it's a little bit longer video than the usuals. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe, so you guys can have the honor to being one of the first subscribers, one of the first 1,000 subscribers, because I know a lot more subscribers are coming, are heading this way. If I can be of any help, let me know. My email is also on my page, on my YouTube page. If you have any more personal, if you have personal questions, you can always shoot me an email. And whatever I know, I'll be more than glad to share it with you guys. So thanks a lot, guys. God bless.